This is a Porsche 911, and this is I think it's a Macan. Maybe this denotes battery-powered drivetrain, and this means it's got turbos installed. I'm not really sure how that works. And this means you're clinically insane if you want to pay that much money for whatever this is. But the color's kind of cool. Slate gray Neo. But more importantly, back to this 911, because we got big news that just came out today. And there's going to be a lot of butthurt Porsche fanboys out there. So my kid is over here trying to figure out which Legos to buy, and she's telling me I need the option to choose between. There's two in the cart, and the first one is the DeLorean
that comes with Doc and Martin, it looks like,
and then the other is a Porsche 911,
which I thought would be funny.
Right. I was actually thinking that the one you wanted wouldn't work because they give you the wrong grinder.
But it's the right one, isn't it?
Conical.
Oh, so this is what we could do, because this will do the thing that I want.
Theoretically.
Theoretically, we could try it.
Let's head back to the garage. And first thing I want to say is I just got a chance to watch a little bit of Chris Harris driving the Ford Mustang GTD with Max Verstappen. And there's a few things that I noticed. The first one being that Ford RS200 that Chris Harris was driving. Man, don't you miss the sound of a good old fashioned manual handbrake click up when you park?
Very lovely. Come on. I like that blue color.
The other being the Ford Mustang GTD is a damn good looking car. And they really cleaned up the exhaust, because whatever prototypes they were running on track before, attempting to set Nürburgring lap times, the exhausts were pretty fucking garbage. Lastly, I feel as though the Ford Mustang GTD is a bit of a letdown. Mainly because it's really expensive. You probably will never have an opportunity of buying one. Will you ever see one on the street? Odds are as often as you see a Ford GT, any generation. And even if you could buy one, would you want to? Because it seems to be lacking some emotion. Like, there doesn't really seem to be any sense of occasion from back there. Yeah, hang on. Come here. Let me show you something. Who said that? Fire Marshal Bill? Let me show you something. From here, it seems to be a lack of emotion from in here. I mean, it kind of sounds like a Mustang, but
Yeah.
Jesus. Wouldn't you want your top of the line, second place Nürburgring lap time specialty GTD to be a little bit more? Either way, this is our video from yesterday, or at least the video that I published yesterday. After it took me a few days to put it together and finalize it, and I was actually on the fence about even delivering it and bringing it to you. Some things have changed. My thought process has changed, and maybe I'll be here with you guys more often with longer car talks. But for those who are interested in how this game works and how you make money on YouTube, YouTube put like 15 ads in that video yesterday. They put like 15 ads in that video. Now, granted, it's only made $3.20 so far, so we're not really breaking the bank here. But who knows? Who knows? Over time, that video could produce way more money. And, dare I say, afford me an entire tank of gas. Hey, guys. And to nobody's surprise, we opted for the good old DMC DeLorean. This is actually a business expense. And my wife and child, my daughter, have decided to start their own or start another YouTube channel of their own specifically for building Legos. So that idea was sparked yesterday, and this was the bright idea that they had today, for which I had no idea was so freaking expensive. This joker, $182.96 for some freaking Legos. Crazy. Hope they make more money than I do on my car channel. All right, guys, let's rifle through some of these screenshots that I have saved here. These are some of the ideas and thoughts and conversations that I wanted to bring to you guys, and maybe we can continue this dialogue in the comment section. Let's see here. Cody Sanchez, completely unrelated. You really overestimate how many people are actually trying to compete with you. Builders are oddly rare. My wife and I were talking about that earlier today. Got a little bit of Theo Von here. I sent this to Keith because Keith told me he had a Theo Von clip in his YouTube video that he was trying to work around some of the parameters and guardrails that YouTube sets. But I've been doing this for so long, I almost think I've seen almost every trick in the book, and I helped him with that. But I don't think his clip, specifically discussing macroeconomics and cryptocurrency, had anything to do with Lainey Wilson's thick old juicy ass. Good Lord, Jesus. That's a screenshot of Zach that he sent me. Stephen Gardner. Okay. All right, this might be the one I was looking for. Bing bong. And this is where the heartbreak comes in. Ford CEO says, game on. Mustang GT going back to Nürburgring. And for why? Well, because GM in the C8 Z06, Mac Daddy of them all being the ZR1 and ZR1X, which, yeah, it's got an LT6. Add 2 turbos and or add a front axle electric motor setup, just absolutely crushed and destroyed the Nürburgring lap times. Yeah. And Porsche, well, Porsche's shaking in their boots right now for good reason too.
We're at Circuit of the Americas, and we're one of the first people ever to drive this. It's the new C8 ZR1. This car makes over 1,000 horsepower from the factory. It's got a 5.5 liter 32 valve flat plane V8 that revs to 8,000 RPM, but it also has 2 76 millimeter turbos, which is the largest turbo ever offered on a factory car. But it's engineered in such a way that there is 0 turbo lag, tight packaging, and crazy electronics to keep the turbine spinning while you're off the gas. This allows for maximum torque and immediate transient response. The exterior is packed with aerodynamics, all of which are functional, including my favorite, which is the hood vent. This is an extractor for the center radiator, which is one of 15 coolers that help keep temperatures under control. This is the first production car that ever made me want to vomit. The torque at a low speed corners, insane top speeds, high lateral grip, and insane braking force literally almost broke my stomach. But at 3,600 pounds and 1,000 horsepower and under 200 grand, it's going to be hard to top the ZR1.
Now, we're going to get to Porsche AG pushing ahead with a strategic realignment after we talk about goodbye GTD and the Corvette ZR1X now being car and driver stating is the fastest American car around the Nürburgring. But this one right here really struck a chord with me, and this is a car scoop that I read probably when it came out back in May. And it says that the depreciation on this Ferrari SF90 after just 185 miles is insane. And with only 185 miles on the clock, this SF90 sold for significantly less than its sticker price. And we're no strangers to watching luxurious and sometimes exotic vehicles lose value as they fall victim to the brutal reality of depreciation. But this Ferrari SF90 auction has us scratching our heads considering just how much it shed after barely any time on the road. So, I'm not going to go over all the details of this article, but I'm going to try to just jump to the juicy part here. The original owner of this particular SF90 paid a cool $250,000 for it, plus an additional 15 grand to install satin paint protection film, which we need to talk about that, because what the fuck was Mercedes thinking with a $90,000 paint job? Are you out of your fucking mind?
I have a car in my showroom with a $90,000 paint job. That's more than most cars cost. Let me show it to you. There it is right there. Motorsport Collector's Edition, $89,659. And because of the rarity of the paint to protect it, we did a full PPF on the car. This is a 2024 SL63 AMG Motorsport Collector Edition. There's about 20 of these that came to the US. It's got a hand-painted Affalterbach badge on the fender. It is Cirrus Silver Metallic that in a gradient paint scheme fades to Obsidian Black Metallic. As you can see, these stars are hand-painted. So this is a tribute to Mercedes-Benz F1 program. We had the car completely PPF'd to protect this paint job. Let me know in the comments, what do you think of this $90,000 paint job?
Either way, after only 185 miles, 298 kilometers on the clock, it was sold on Bring a Trailer for $579,000. That's an eye-watering loss of 125 grand, or 140,000 if you factor in the PPF for a car that's barely broken in. Do the math, and it comes out to $675 to $757 per mile. And yeah, there's more to this story, and you guys can check it out if you want. But I think what really resonates with me from this story is the fact that don't think that just because you have a specific badge on the front of your car or dangling from your keychain that you are not susceptible to depreciation. Vehicles in themselves aren't designed to appreciate, and Porsche should be very, very concerned about the future of the brand, as they are essentially destroying their reputation as we speak. And anyone out there sitting on, holding, or banking on retiring on their fucking C4S, keep dreaming. Because if it can happen to a near $1 million Ferrari, it can happen to your $90,000 rust bucket Volkswagen, okay? Just hear me out. Goodbye, GTD. The Corvette ZR1X is the fastest American car around the Nürburgring. Yes, ladies and gentlemen, or probably just gentlemen. There's 0.2% lady in here, and it's kind of odd to say it that way. But Chevy brought out the Z06, ZR1, and ZR1X along with a trio of development drivers to showcase the Corvette's prowess on track. And we'll just jump to the good parts here. The Z06 posted a time of 7:11.826, the ZR1 a time of 6:50.763, and the ZR1X a time of 6:49.275. So not freaking bad, not bad at all. And these are cars, vehicles, where I would say you are likely to be able to buy and drive and still have that sense of occasion, that just pure excitement and enjoyment when you turn that motor over, when you crank it up, when you fire it up, and it just fills your body and your mind with something that honestly I can't describe in words. I would say and suggest, if you have the means, I highly recommend picking one up. Porsche shit the bed again. Porsche AG pushes ahead with strategic realignment, but is it too little, too late? Almost fell off the garbage can there. Gotta stay balanced here. So this came out yesterday. Porsche AG is resolutely pushing ahead with its strategic realignment in the second half of 2025 in the face of a challenging global environment. Looks like Porsche might have got a little bit too far out ahead of and over their skis, if you know what I mean. And you know, the fact that Porsche has been in this position, in this situation before, kind of makes you wonder and think, how did they allow themselves to get in this position again? And they really, really have their work cut out for them, because I think they've let greed take over. They were blinded. They lost sight of logic, good sense, and thought, yeah, Porsche fans would love to spend hundreds of thousands of dollars on battery packs. Look, you can fucking jerk off all you want and fucking suck Porsche 992.2 GTS dick all day long, but nobody really wants that shit. Nobody really wants that shit, and especially not for the fucking price that they're asking for, okay? Or bending you over and fucking ass raping you for. Just, hey, to each their own. There's more to it here. Maybe I'll talk about it in a future video, but I really just wanted to get on here and let you guys know. The C8, ZR1, and ZR1X are the Mac daddies of the Nürburgring. And I can't at all say that I'm the least bit surprised.